Now you know, all these years I took pride in this water, and you know I'm going to end up losing it. That's a shame. Now here's the story. Here, start taking notes. When they come here, when the land agent come here, the first thing I did to him, I was fortunate enough. See, these are collector's items. That's when they won that Super Bowl. Okay, when he come here, the first thing I did before we come out, I poured him one of these. And I said, look, buddy, I held that up to the light. I said, this is for you. He said, what, the glass? I said, no, the water. Get the picture?
Mm-hmm. Who is this? The manager from Range Resources who came to speak with you?
They got a high-tech name. Land agent.
Land agent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And when was this?
Oh, I don't know. He come here somewhere last year, 90 days before Christmas. I was going to get a big check, and I was going to be Santa Claus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. Home on a range recourses will heal them all. In the olden days, that have been here when a horse and a buggy selling whiskey for snake bite medicine.
Uh-huh.
But what do you want to ask me the questions, or my friend? I don't know. Is that why you're here?
Well, I'm here to get your story, and I'll direct the conversation.
Good enough. Good enough. Like I told a man, I think I'm very much. I can't come up with the word now. Interviewable.
Great. You seem very verbose.
All right. How you like that water?
Good, thank you.
It's fresh. It's cold.
See why I don't worry when it gets 80, 90 degrees? I just sit out here and I drink that water.
Is it well water?
Well water, yes ma'am, and that's what scares me. And I know it's going to be loaded with a lot of chemicals, with a lot of X's. Can I continue my story? I never seen so many trucks with license plates from Texas. They told my neighbors they'll never have to work the rest of their lives. I never remember them working in the first place. And if they've done the homework, they better check with their ex-wives. I think they're dealing with a pie in the sky, you know what I mean. But yeah, between the both of them, they went through, 8 wives and 15 kids, you know. So they're all waiting. They're just like vultures, you know. They cry to me about it, you know. Say, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm awful disappointed in them for doing that. And I told them both. I said, boys, I'm going to tell you right now. You created a mess over here. You let them come in here because you didn't want to work. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, the way I come up, you don't do nothing to offend your neighbor. You understand what I mean? Say I had a light on over here, you know, and it was bothering you. You tell me, I got a dog that's barking. I don't have a dog no more. That's the way it should be. You know, we're out here. You see, it's beautiful out here. It's serene, picturesque, whatever you want to call it. You got to put up with this. I told them guys, I said, you sold your soul for gas, oil, and coal. You know, the old Daniel Webster, the devil sold these, you know. But anyhow, so I told them both right down here because they were crying to me because they got in a fight with this guy over here said that they was on his land, and I said, I went in it, boys, but I'm going to tell you what right now. You could have given me $2 million, and I would have never let them. I would have never done that. Out of respect for the way I was, morals, you know what I mean? I mean, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I'm not going to talk to you, and every chance I get, I'm going to put it to you. You understand? You can kill somebody with kindness. But it's been nothing but pure misery here for about the last 6 or 7. You see how bad them roads were? Or you guys come in this way. That's what these trucks are for. I mean, these roads. You go down here, you better stay on the left-hand side or you'll bury your automobile. And they're not doing it. I told a man, I said, you're not doing this for us people. You're doing it so you can get your vehicles in here. Because another thing, too, we're just a small township here. These roads weren't equipped for all of this. And we don't have the water supply. You know what I mean? I have, and I told them both, I have over $7,500 in that well. I've had that well drilled 3 times. I developed a spring up on top of the hill up here. This is for extra water, you know, if I got a party or something going on here. And I told them all, I said, I will not put another dime in that well. You take it any way you want. And I tried to explain to these guys, they said that they wasn't going to get in there. I said, you guys should have went to different classes and seminars with me. Anytime you go through that water table. You understand? Did you do any homework on this? Anytime you go through that water table, you done caused damage. Now, down in Texas, they call it an aqua firma. It's an underground river. Suppose it comes from Canada, goes down. And they're very fussy about you drilling in down there. Because you know, they even got water police down there. When they ration, you better not be caught washing your car or watering your garden. But anyhow, you see my point. We don't have that much. They already polluted the lake down here because they paid a fine over it. They polluted 2 or 3 streams here. We just had a big fire here about 3 months ago over here. They caught one of them frack ponds on fire, blamed it on vandalism. 8:30 in the morning, they got their old crews working out there. I mean, you know, if anybody was there, you'd have known it, right? If there was a stranger in the crowd. But anyhow, I called today, and I told him that Oceanic, whatever, there's 3 that in on that Gulf. There's 3 companies in on a BP, Oceanic, whatever. Heard on the news last night they got them for tax evasion. Some company just filed, I got the paper right in there, just filed bankruptcy. Drilling company now in West Virginia just filed bankruptcy. They owed over 200 creditors. So things all that glitters is not gold, all that oozes is not oil and gas. There's a lot of chemicals in it with a lot of X's in it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was totally against that. But you see how cold that water is? And I didn't put no ice cubes in it, you know. And when these guys come here, you know, and the last 2 come here to set, what happened? They run a vibrating machine, a vibrating roller. You ever see them big rollers? Well, they weren't happy enough with roll. They had to put some kind of...
On the road.
Yeah, and you see, and it's just right there, right where we was standing, right across the road. And it just shook my house. It shook my house here. And it caused damage on my wall. And it's been since April 12th. They were supposed to get back to me. They sent 2 land agents out here for me, and they talked about everything. You know, what a nice port you got here. You know, if you want to sell it, why don't you just sign the lease? You're not going to stop them. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You can mark this down. I did stop one. I didn't tell them that. I did stop one. It's a known fact. And I told his assistant, whoever, I said, I'm telling you, I did stop one. And I says, you check. It's known. And I said, I'm tell you what, the pad's there. If you want, I'll come show it to you. And they better not drill there. You tell, because he's going to have trouble. It's on his dime. It's on his watch. They better not be drilling there. You know where the hell that was. If you want, I can take you there. Right beside a graveyard. And we got a guy with the Congressional Medal of Honor. You've probably seen in the paper. They just had a big dedication to him. Right there right across the fence from a cemetery. Now, how brazen and how greedy and how disrespectful can you be? But anyhow, I made the phone call to the right person, to the right person, so I didn't. So I didn't give these guys the satisfaction of letting them ask me any questions. I didn't say nothing. They said, sign this. You're better off to sign this. You're not going to stop them.
This is the lease for the gas rights underneath your property.
Oh, they wanted it so bad, the guy knocked on the door and he told me, he said, look, my boss told me. I'm not paraphrasing or nothing. I'm telling you word for word. Because one thing I got my memory. Thank God. He said, my boss told me. Well, I got ahead of my story. I'll fast forward this too fast. He said, I was down the hall here, and he said I couldn't get no reception on you're in a dead area on the cell phone. I want to call you, but I couldn't get you. So I thought I just happened to be in the area, and I come to the door. I said, come on in. Come on out. I got another one of these, you know. And I said, hey, wait a minute. I said, you called me up the other day and said I had till Tuesday to sign this because they were taking you somewhere else in another state or another country. He said, no, sir. He said, they told me to stay on this till you signed the lease. I said, well, you mark it out as job security, buddy. You got a job the rest of your life because I ain't signing it. How you like that one? He told me, right there in that door, that he said, my boss told me anything you want. How you like that? That's pretty tempting, ain't it? Anything you want, just sign this lease. And I can show you. I got the lease right in there. I even had him redo it and everything. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. You tell your boss you're going to like this. Get me I want a drilling rig. I want all the material. All the money to pay to help. I said, and everything that I need Take that thing over in his backyard and drill it, and I'll sign the lease. He couldn't get out of here fast, so he didn't know whether to die shit or wind his watch. I'm telling you, he was slipping, getting the hell out of here. Now, wasn't that a classical?
So you're going to go to his backyard.
Yeah, put that in his backyard, and I'll sign that lease. I said, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. Let him put up with all the misery that I got to put up with.